Hey, a lot of golfers out there have a difficult time completing their weight shift. Heck, I've seen a lot of even good golfers who fail to complete their weight shift. I call it the lazy weight shift. You ever see this or do this where you kind of watch the shot from your back foot like this? You may have shifted your weight temporarily or partially through the shot, but then you end up back here. Now, these golfers have a lot of problems too. Let's talk about it right after this. Hey, this is Steve from HitItLonger.com. Like and subscribe for more content like this. So golfers at kind of every level, I've seen golfers even with low handicaps struggle because they failed to make a complete weight shift onto the left foot. This would result for them in little forward lean, not perfect low point control. So straight up and down shafted impact, a lot of drop kicks, some hook shots. For golfers who aren't as good, you do this even more. You never get over to your left foot at all. You can hit a lot of fat shots, thin shots, tops, poor distance. Let's learn how to move our weight all the way over. Now, using an alignment stick to define the middle of the stance and my navel, my belt buckle, my nose and chin, I'm 50-50 on either side of this. Now I want you to watch as I start to shift my weight over to the left foot by taking my midsection, my belly button, belt buckle area, and I'm gonna start laterally shifting it over. Now at this point you can see it's not on the yellow line anymore, but it's not quite over my heel yet. It's kind of in between. It's kind of maybe right about here. Now what would happen here if I tried to pick this leg up, I'm gonna fall and I'm gonna set it back down again. And there's kind of the reverse pivot idea that worse golfers have. Gotta remember the physics of the swing would dictate that as I am throwing this club around, it's going to drive me backwards. So if you just try to sink your weight in 50-50 and just swing, you're going to get thrown back. So we have to have an equal amount of force being thrust targetwards to balance out what we're doing with the strike with the club. As I get closer and closer to shifting my weight, and we're talking about essentially the weight of my pelvis and my thighs and my spine, starting to get over. Now I might be into my instep. Now you're going to see as I pick this leg up, I'm still going to fall backwards, but I'm going to fall slower. So better golfers, I call this the lazy weight shift. Go almost all the way over, and by the time the ball lands, they're falling back onto the back foot, and as the ball hits, they're watching it from more of this back-footed, under-rotated position. And I see a lot of them having difficult time with low point control and directional control. If I were to go all the way over, now what my head and my nose and my chin, I'm trying to keep those on the stick line. But as I get all the way over here, like this, now I've created a lot more of this side tilt, you can see. As I get over here farther, now all of a sudden, you can see my knee is across the stick. Only my foot and ankle are on this side of the stick. And I can balance. So there's no reason for me to have to step back onto my left foot again, or my trail foot again. I'm gonna be standing on my front foot. Another great way that you can guarantee this is if you can shift over and turn like this, get up on the tippy toe of your rear foot and then tap it a couple times. Now, that means that all my weight is now established on the front foot. I've completed my weight shift. I'm going to have an easier time striking with compression in front of the ball. Going to get more distance and clubhead speed, greater directional control as well, and everything's going to be good. So you got to remember make a complete weight shift, you've got to recenter your center of mass here on top of your left heel or even further. Notice as I push it further, my left foot starts to roll a little bit to the outside. Check that out. And now, again, I'm so far over. Now I've got enough shift this way in order to easily equalize a ton of throw that, again, would tend to throw me backwards. I've got more than enough to stay steady and braced as I hit with high speed. This is what guys on TV will look like with this foot rolling outwards just a bit, getting to the outside of their heel and turning around on that balance point. All right, let's take a look at one. Pretty much 50-50 on top of this yellow stick. And you can see at the end I'm on my left heel. I can double tap the foot, belly button facing, pushing towards the target. We'll do one more. And again, there's no fallback here. I'm watching this ball land. It's about 6 seconds in the air. I'm watching it land from this position, not with my foot halfway up or even down like this. Now, let's talk about one more situation. Stance width. Stance width can get you into the same problem. Even good players out there, you start getting, over time, you might start getting wider, 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 wider. Okay, so now I am, what I would argue is much too wide. Even for a driver, this is way too wide. And how would I know that? Because I'm going to push my weight of my pelvis. And again, I'm going to try to get it to the outside of the heel, and I can't. That's as far as I can go structurally. So there's a lot of weight on this back foot still, and I'll prove it by, look how fast that fallback was. Before I fell right on my ear, I had to save myself. Now, as far as I can go, the only way I'm going to now not get lazy would be, I'm going to have to lean my upper body into it. I have to compromise this beautiful side tilt. As far as I can go, wide stance. I've got to lean my head into it. Now I can pick that leg up and balance, but I have blown the tilt. So a lot of golfers, they'll start to get wide. This is a lot of good golfers start to get too wide. You can't shift all the way. You're going to fall back and you're going to watch the shot land from this position. This is the root cause of a lot of poor striking and poor directional control. A lot of drop kicks and hooks this way I've seen golfers hit. So make sure that your feet are not overly wide. You'll know this because it's at the point where you can no longer push the center of your hips to the outside of your heel like this. Just like that. I can go a little bit wider and I'm good, but that's about my limit right there. You see, there's still in balance. That's about as wide as I can go before I start running into trouble. Everyone's unique and individual. You're going to have to find your own widest balance point and then work inwards from there with your irons as they get shorter. So keep this in mind. You want to have better striking, distance control. Complete the weight shift. Make sure the stance is not too wide, and you're going to have a lot of success. Hey, thanks for watching. Head over to my website, hititlonger.com, for more great tips, videos, articles. And if I don't see you in the next video, I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.